Top 10 Dangerous Foods You Should Never Eat. Hello, health supporters, and welcome to our channel. A balanced diet is vital for maintaining overall health, providing the body with essential nutrients, energy, and support for various functions. It strengthens the immune system, promotes mental clarity, and enhances physical well-being. Consuming a variety of nutrient-rich foods ensures the body operates efficiently, supporting growth, vitality, and long-term health. Proper nutrition is key to feeling energetic, preventing imbalances, and sustaining a healthy lifestyle. Today, we'll discuss the top 10 most dangerous foods you should avoid, presented in reverse order from least harmful to most harmful. Number 10. Refined grains. Refined grains include foods such as white bread, white flour, white rice, and pasta. Some people believe pasta is healthier than these options, and while it may be slightly healthier, we need to examine where it truly fits in. White bread has a glycemic index of 75, which measures how quickly your blood sugar rises after consuming a particular food. Pure glucose has a glycemic index of 100, so white bread is considered to have a high glycemic index because it raises blood sugar levels rapidly. White rice has a similar glycemic index. In contrast, pasta has a glycemic index of 55, which is classified as low on the official glycemic index scale. This raises the question, low compared to what? For example, table sugar has a glycemic index of 65, meaning pasta might seem lower than sugar, but we must consider the entire context. The standard glycemic index scale categorizes foods into low, below 55, medium, 55 to 70, and high, above 70, glycemic index foods. However, this scale predominantly includes carbohydrate foods. As a culture, we have increasingly adopted starchy foods as the foundation of our diets, and we are often advised to consume 250 to 300 grams of carbohydrates daily. I would like to propose an alternative scale for glycemic index, which I refer to as the real scale. In my view, foods with a glycemic index below 20 should be classified as low glycemic index. If we expand our focus beyond starchy and carbohydrate-rich foods and consider whole foods instead, such as beef, fish, chicken, nuts, seeds, and non-starchy vegetables, most of these will fall in the below 20 range. For foods with glycemic indices between 20 and 40, we can occasionally include certain tubers, like rutabaga and celery root. While they are still healthier than starchy foods, they should not be the foundation of our diet. Occasionally, we might include sweet potatoes, white rice, or beans, but these should be exceptions rather than regular components of our meals. By prioritizing whole foods, low starchy vegetables, and leafy greens, we can ensure that approximately 90% of what we eat falls below the glycemic index of 20. When considering these numbers, it is essential to realize that the foods we have commonly consumed are key contributors to the significant metabolic issues we face today. Number 9. Fruit juices. Let's discuss fruit juices and some related topics. Fresh fruit can be enjoyed in moderation and seasonally. If you live on a tropical island and your ancestors have been there for generations, you may have adapted to consuming more fruits like mangoes and pineapples throughout the year. However, it's essential to avoid added sugars and processed foods when enjoying these fruits. Now, let's differentiate between fresh fruit and pasteurized fruit juice. Pasteurized juice is something you should likely avoid, as the pasteurization process destroys many of the live enzymes and nutrients found in fresh fruit. Additionally, fruit juice is essentially just concentrated sugar, which makes it easier to consume in large amounts. If you do choose to have juice, I recommend opting for fresh squeezed juice occasionally, rather than making it a regular part of your diet, especially if you're insulin resistant. You might have fresh juice from a grapefruit or an orange on special occasions, like birthdays or holidays, but trying to limit it to once a month is best, rather than daily. Now, why am I labeling certain foods as dangerous? Some people may expect to hear about toxic foods that can cause immediate harm, but I want to focus on the foods that significantly contribute to the leading health issues today. The most common diseases that cause death include heart disease, cancer, stroke, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, respiratory infections, dementia, type 2 diabetes, kidney disease, and liver disease. When I mention the most dangerous foods, I mean those that contribute to these diseases through a clear connection between diet and health conditions. For instance, I believe that approximately 90% of heart disease cases are linked to foods that promote inflammation, insulin resistance, and metabolic disease. This observation is based on my understanding and research, but it is not derived from specific studies. In terms of COVID-19, it's notable that it did not significantly affect those who were metabolically healthy. Instances where healthy individuals succumbed to the virus likely involved undetected underlying health issues. Regarding cancer, stroke, and COPD, smoking is a significant contributor, particularly to lung disease. Overall, metabolic problems are the primary cause of diseases like dementia, type 2 diabetes, kidney disease, and liver disease. While smoking is a notable risk factor for certain conditions, the overwhelming majority of these diseases are linked to our modern lifestyles and diets high in sugar and ultra-processed foods. Number 8. Fried foods. Fried food is often associated with items like French fries and potato chips, but it can also include other fried items such as shrimp, chicken, and a variety of other foods. These foods tend to be high in starch. We typically use potato flour, white flour, or other starches to absorb the oil used in frying. Unfortunately, the oils we select for frying are usually not healthy options. They often include seed oils, soybean oil, and sometimes corn oil, which leads to an excess of omega-6 fatty acids with omega-3s in our diet. This imbalance can cause our bodies to shift towards pro-inflammatory responses. Moreover, these oils undergo harsh processing methods involving high heat, high pressure, and numerous chemicals. Even if the seeds used to produce these oils were acceptable as food, the processing alters them to the point where they are no longer healthy. To make matters worse, when frying, we tend to reuse the oil multiple times. Each time the oil is reheated or kept at high temperatures, it becomes increasingly toxic. Number 7. Low-fat foods. Low-fat foods can be misleading, especially when we're not talking about naturally low-fat items like leafy greens and non-starchy vegetables. Instead, I'm referring to foods that typically contain some fat, but where the fat has been removed. A prime example is sweetened yogurt, which can be sold as low-fat or non-fat. To enhance the flavor after removing the fat, a significant amount of sugar is often added. Many people mistakenly believe they are making a healthy choice by purchasing these sweetened yogurts. I recommend making your own. An interesting fact is that what is commonly referred to as Greek yogurt in the US differs greatly from the yogurt made in Greece. Greek yogurt traditionally uses full fat or even half and half milk, giving it a rich, creamy texture with a fat content between 7% and 10%. In contrast, US versions are often marketed as fat-free Greek yogurt, which simply involves straining out the water to create a firm texture without retaining any fat. When you make your own yogurt, this mixture yields a fat content of around 7%, which seems to provide the perfect balance for a creamy, firm texture without additional processing. You can then add a few berries, either fresh or thawed frozen, and sweeten it slightly with a few drops of stevia. Sometimes, I skip the sweetener altogether because I enjoy the tartness. Once you try this homemade version a few times, you'll likely never want to buy the store-bought varieties again. Another issue with low-fat foods is found in dressings and condiments, such as salad dressings and mayonnaise. These products usually contain a lot of fat, which contributes significantly to their flavor and texture. When companies create low-fat or non-fat versions of these items, they often include fat substitutes. This raises the question: if they remove the fat from something that is meant to contain it, what are they replacing it with? The answer often involves synthetic texturizers and semi-plastic compounds that aren't truly food. Number 6. Breakfast cereal. Breakfast cereals often start with processed grains, typically wheat or, more commonly, corn. Unless the corn is labeled organic, it is likely genetically modified (GMO). Many cereals also contain varying amounts of sugar, which can range from a small amount to sometimes 50% of the cereal being pure sugar. In addition, artificial colors and flavors are commonly added. To create the illusion of healthiness, manufacturers sprinkle synthetic vitamins onto the cereals. This means you end up with GMO corn, white flour, and sugar, along with a sprinkle of vitamins, leading to claims that they provide a certain percentage of your recommended daily vitamins. However, these nutrients are largely ineffective in that form. We face a similar issue as with orange juice. Many people perceive these cereals as healthy. A lot of individuals start their day believing they are making healthy choices by feeding themselves or their children these products. Personally, the closest I get to consuming cereal is when I prepare homemade yogurt and mix in what I call Chillix. This consists of ground chia seeds and flax seeds blended. I might also add some pecans or pumpkin seeds. This combination contains no grains or added sugars, making it very filling and packed with fiber, minerals, and nutrients. Number 5. Candy and snack bars. Candy and snack bars are typically based on sugar. To enhance flavor and texture, manufacturers often add fats, but these are usually processed seed oils like soybean oil instead of healthier options such as butter or extra virgin olive oil. Many people consider granola bars and trail mix to be healthy alternatives, often saying, "I don't eat candy, I just have granola bars." While some granola bars can be nutritious, it depends on the ingredients. If the first ingredient is something synthetic or white flour, it's less healthy. The same goes for trail mix, which is usually mostly nuts. However, when half the mix is filled with raisins or candy like M&Ms, it becomes less healthy and is more akin to candy than a nutritious snack. There's also a growing trend of protein bars, as some consumers realize that traditional candy bars, like Snickers and Mars bars, aren't good for them. Protein bars are marketed as healthier options, but the quality of protein used often leaves much to be desired. Many protein bars still contain as much sugar as candy bars, or they use sugar substitutes, like sugar alcohols, sorbitol or erythritol. While consuming these in moderation might be fine, eating protein bars regularly can lead to excessive sugar intake or too much sugar alcohol, which may upset your gut flora and create an imbalance in your microbiome by selectively feeding certain bacterial species. Additionally, I would include items like Pop-Tarts in this category. A staggering number of people use them because they are convenient. They can be stored in the freezer or on the shelf and are easy to prepare. However, they mainly consist of white flour, sugar, unhealthy oils, and chemicals, lacking any real nutritional value. One of my pet peeves is when products are advertised as made from or made with certain ingredients like strawberries or cherries, yet contain only a tiny percentage of those ingredients. It's important not to be misled by these claims. While many people recognize that candy bars and chocolate are not the healthiest options, they often mistakenly believe that items like granola and trail mix are healthier choices. Number 4. Ice cream. Ice cream is just as the name suggests. It's supposed to contain cream, which is a high-fat product that can be relatively harmless if it's made from raw cream. However, we typically add a substantial amount of sugar to it, which makes it extremely addictive. Cream and fat are generally satiating on their own. You can only eat so much butter or cream because they limit themselves. But when 50% of ice cream is sugar, it creates a drug-like effect, and this combination becomes highly addictive. The sugar overrides the natural satiating effect, leading you to overeat. When you indulge in ice cream, you're consuming a large amount of sugar along with a significant quantity of fat, resulting in greater fat intake than you would typically have without the sugar. Personally, ice cream is my Achilles heel. While I may not care much about granola bars, low-fat yogurt, or many other snacks, I find it impossible to resist a tub of high-quality ice cream. I'll keep having one serving after another until it's all gone. Knowing this about myself, I choose not to keep ice cream in the house. Number 3. Baked goods. Baked goods include items such as cookies and pastries, which are typically made with sugar, white flour, and unhealthy fats. This combination means that we are consuming some of the worst ingredients from various categories. Cakes are another type of baked good, and they often contain these harmful components, along with shortening, which is a type of hydrogenated fat. Starting with highly processed vegetable oils, we then go through the process of hydrogenation, which turns these oils into trans fats. This transformation creates a substance that doesn't naturally occur in food. Donuts fall into this category as well. They contain all the previously mentioned harmful ingredients, and the frying process adds another layer of danger, making them even more detrimental to our health. Number 2. Sugary drinks. Sugary drinks are the worst on this list, and the reason I rank them above everything else is their accessibility. They're everywhere, and have become such a common part of our lives that it's easy to overlook them. Soft drinks, for example, can be found in vending machines and soda fountains everywhere. Even beverages like lemonade, which seem more natural, have the same high sugar content. Many people also underestimate sweet tea, thinking, "I'm just having some tea." However, the sugar content can reach 8 or 10 teaspoons in a large glass. Then, there are the coffee drinks made popular by coffee chains. They initially sold regular coffee, but to profit more, they began offering sugary drinks that are highly addictive. If you observe customers in these shops, very few order plain black coffee or even cappuccinos. Most choose various sugary concoctions. Energy drinks are another type of soda, but with added caffeine or other stimulants. While they are marketed as providing energy, they actually do the opposite. They give the illusion of energy momentarily, but you're merely borrowing energy that you will need to repay later. Also, there's a product called nectar, which is essentially a heavily modified fruit juice. It starts with fruit juice, but then sugar, citric acid, and flavorings are added to enhance the taste, resulting in something that is mostly sugar water. Another sugary drink that many people overlook is coconut water. While fresh coconut juice is healthy if you crack open a coconut on a tropical island, packaged coconut water often contains added sugars, which can be misleading. Lastly, I want to touch on diet drinks that use artificial sweeteners. After realizing that sugar isn't good for them, many people turn to drinks that offer sweetness without calories, using sweeteners like sucralose, aspartame, and saccharin. However, this isn't a great solution. While it may seem like you're avoiding sugar and its metabolic issues, in the long run, these artificial sweeteners can lead to problems that are just as serious. The number 1 most dangerous food or drink is alcoholic beverages. To understand this, we need to consider 2 main factors: the type of alcoholic beverage and the quantity consumed in a week. It's important to classify these drinks on a scale from the least harmful to the most harmful. Zero alcoholic drinks is always the best option. However, many people still enjoy their drinks, such as a glass of red wine or a shot of whiskey. Generally, recommendations suggest that specific groups should have no alcohol at all. This includes pregnant women and individuals who are ill or have significant metabolic issues. For women, the guideline typically states no more than 7 drinks per week, while for men, it's no more than 14. However, these numbers can vary based on individual health status, and as people age, it might be wise for them to reduce their alcohol intake. Starting with the types of alcoholic beverages from least harmful to most harmful, we begin with distilled spirits, which include vodka, gin, bourbon, whiskey, rum, and cognac. The reason these are considered less harmful is that they contain no sugar, just alcohol. The two substances that pose the greatest risk to the liver are sugar, especially fructose, and alcohol, as they can only be metabolized by the liver. This is why excessive consumption of both can lead to liver issues. In the past, fatty liver was primarily associated with alcoholics, but as sugar became more prevalent in our diets, cases of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease have surged. Thus, both fructose and alcohol are detrimental to liver health. The liver plays a crucial role in resisting various diseases, which largely depends on our diet and metabolic health. When consuming distilled spirits, you are mainly introducing one harmful factor, alcohol. However, if you drink alcoholic beverages that also contain sugar, you are putting extra strain on your liver by introducing two harmful elements simultaneously. Next in line are dry wines, both white and red, which contain a few grams of sugar per glass. Pure distilled spirits have 0 sugar. Following that is beer, which does not contain sugar, but does have carbohydrates from the grains used in brewing. While not as harmful as sugar, these carbohydrates can still cause a slight increase in insulin levels. Sweet wines fall next on the scale, as they have added sugar, thus combining alcohol with a higher sugar content. The most harmful category consists of mixed drinks, particularly tropical cocktails often served in bars. While they may be flavorful, these drinks usually contain a significant amount of added sugar, either from soft drinks, fruit juices, or pure sugar. As a result, consuming these drinks can overwhelm your liver with both alcohol and sugar, effectively doubling the burden. If you found this information useful, you may enjoy our other videos as well. To truly master your understanding of health and how your body works, be sure to subscribe, click the bell, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a life-saving video.